Lean Learning Framework. Most of us grew up believing that learning means accumulating more classes, more content, more certifications. It's an industrial age model of learning. The idea that if we just add enough information, performance will naturally improve. But modern learning science tells a different story. People don't improve because they consume more. They improve because they focus better, practice smarter, and refine continuously. Decades of research, from Anders Ericsson's work on deliberate practice to Robert Bjork's studies on desirable difficulty, show that progress comes from targeted repetition and feedback, not from exposure or information density. The Lean Learning Framework starts right there. It challenges the old assumption that progress equals more knowledge. Instead, it focuses on helping people master what matters most. The first core idea is that not all skills carry equal weight. Across every role and industry, a small set of critical behaviors consistently drive the majority of results. Think of this as the performance version of the 80-20 rule. Roughly 20% of actions create 80% of the impact. So the starting point of lean learning is to pinpoint those high-leverage behaviors. What do top performers do differently, and in which moments of truth do those behaviors actually matter? For a sales leader, it might be how they shape questions in client conversations. For a manager, it might be giving feedback that triggers motivation instead of defensiveness. Once those essentials are clear, we stop aiming to teach more and start working to practice better. Traditional training often relies on what learning researchers call passive absorption. We sit, listen, read slides, and nod along. But the brain isn't designed to learn by taking in. It's built to learn by pulling information out. Retrieval practice, studied extensively by Henry Roediger and Jeffrey Karpik, shows that every time we recall or apply knowledge, we strengthen the neural connections that store it. That's why lean learning replaces long sessions with short, high-frequency practice loops, just 5 to 10 minutes at a time. These loops are spaced out intentionally because spacing is one of the most robust findings in cognitive psychology. Over a century of evidence, from Ebbinghaus's forgetting curve onward, shows that spaced repetition dramatically improves long-term retention. And this practice doesn't happen in a classroom after hours. It happens in the flow of work, where memory meets relevance. Because when practice is tied to real decisions, the brain encodes it as something worth remembering. Then comes the role of challenge. People don't remember what's easy, they remember what they struggle through. Learning scientist Robert Bjork calls this desirable difficulty. When practice feels slightly uncomfortable, it forces the brain to work harder, building stronger long-term memory. So lean learning includes brief, realistic challenges. Quick problem-solving moments, short scenario reflections, and tiny loops of trial and feedback. The goal isn't perfection, it's refinement. Every loop makes the skill a little smoother, a little more automatic, and a little more natural in real performance. Finally, learning becomes lasting only when it's reinforced socially. The workplace itself must become the practice arena. Managers act not as instructors, but as prompters, asking good questions, providing reflection points, and recognizing visible improvement. Peers do the same by modeling behaviors and reinforcing shared language. In that environment, habits form faster, confidence rises, and behavioral consistency becomes the norm. Across organizations, this approach consistently outperforms traditional training. Day 7 forgetting rates drop dramatically, while day 30 recall often doubles. Teams reach proficiency faster because they're learning the way the brain was built to learn, through focused, repeated, spaced, socially reinforced practice. Across organizations, this approach consistently outperforms traditional training. Day 7 forgetting rates drop dramatically, while day 30 recall often doubles. Teams reach proficiency faster because they're learning the way the brain was built to learn, through focused, repeated, spaced, socially reinforced practice. So, the next time we think about learning, remember this. Improvement isn't about learning more. It's about mastering what matters most. Teach less, practice more, reinforce consistently. That's lean learning. It saves time, reduces overload, and turns learning into the engine of real-world performance.